Hey guys, Stem Cell here. So I have some crazy statistics I want to show you, and then I want to show you a liberal hive mind video. So these are interracial violent crime incidents in 2018, and it's straight off the bat, don't be racist against black people. Um, that doesn't mean this is something to condemn somebody with. These are just statistics, but it gives you a better picture of what's going on. So, black on white crime, um, it's 540,000. Um, Black on Hispanic, white on black, white on Hispanic, Hispanic on white, um, Hispanic on black. I mean, pretty much this graph tells me that um, white people are getting robbed and having violent things done. And I think that it has to do with the sanctuary cities, to be honest with you, because they are not like they just catch and release. They they catch people if they can, and then they just let them out. But anyways, continuing on, I wanted to show you this video of Charlie Kirk real quick.
Hey, Mr. Kirk, thanks for coming out tonight. I got a question for you real quick. Up until about 5 years ago when gay marriage was legalized nationwide, the conservative movement has been explicitly pro-traditional family. Now, both you and your organization advocate for the acceptance of anti-Christian, immoral lifestyles like homosexuality and transsexuality, going as far to invite drag queens like Lady MAGA to your events. It seems to me and anyone who's paying attention that conservatives just believe whatever liberals believed 5 years ago. Right now, there's a push by the left to normalize pedophilia by way of child drag queen shows and... Oh, excuse me. Phone shut off.
Go back to your notes. That's probably where you saved it. You know, you gotta like push double tap and then go over.
Right now, there is a push by the left to normalize pedophilia by way of child drag queen shows and rebranding pedophiles as minor attracted persons. 5 years from now, will you be promoting child drag queen shows? Will child abuse become part of the conservative platform?
Boy, that's a slippery slope fallacy if I've ever seen one. First of all, I've never invited a drag queen to come to any Turning Point USA event. I was at Politicon, and an individual by the name of Lady MAGA came up, and I took a picture, and she walked away. Secondly, let me ask you a question. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
So are you a proud Trump supporter?
Of course.
So are you sickened that he had a gay man speak at his convention?
Yes.
Then you're not a Trump supporter, my friend. Thank you very much. Let me ask you another question. Should he return the money of Peter Thiel, an openly gay man who supports his campaign?
No, if it helps him strategically,
Okay.
sure, he can.
Should he stop talking to Tammy Bruce, who's an open lesbian that's a Fox News contributor?
If it's affecting his ideas, then probably, yeah.
Okay, so you say you're a Trump supporter, yet you have all these issues and these disagreements with him. Let me be very clear about my position. My personal position, I'm a Christian first and foremost, then an American, then a constitutionalist, then a conservative, in that order. I believe marriage, biblically, if we want to have a biblical and theological discussion as articulated in the greatest book ever to exist in the history of the world, the Holy Bible.
Let me just be clear, guys. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care about any of that. I care how you act. Mediocrity, I think, is everything, and you know, it's like if you choose to be gay, or if you're born gay, whatever it might be, I don't care. Go do your thing. But like the drag queens in school, this was a big problem, and it's not really okay. And the books they're pushing, they're literally they're just trying to create more drag queens and liberals. And you know, I don't think anybody in the conservatives have a problem with people being gay. But like I've seen another clip of Charlie Kirk saying, he's like, you don't have to tell me that you're gay. You're not you don't have to be known by what you do in the bedroom. It's how you act. And I 100% agree with that. So, you know what? Like, actions are everything. Doesn't matter what you look like. We're all human beings. Come on. So, the left have been doing some crazy stuff, and so I want to go ahead and show you this. It just I saw it and I had to play it.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, as that saying goes, if it weren't for double standards, the left wouldn't have standards at all. Well, you know what? In the current news cycle, with everything happening, I've been thinking a whole lot about standards, this concept of standards. And I've really come to the conclusion I keep thinking about this same line, and it's that societies fall apart when standards are replaced with symbolism, with wokeism, with empty platitudes and performative gesture. When institutions stop prioritizing merit, character, and competence, and instead they focus on tokenism, wokeism, DEI, identity, empty presentation, well, what do you think follows? It's corruption that follows every single time because you've corrupted the basic standards that gatekeep bad from entering. And frankly, in history, we've seen this. It's probably one of the greatest lessons of history. The moment you abandon accountability for feel-good ideology, well, you create the exact environment when incompetence, fraud, and outright evil can then thrive unchecked. And that, my friends, is exactly what we are seeing across the Democrat world. And I got the perfect example to show you guys, this coming out of Minnesota. Tim Walz's shining beacon of wokeism, his leftist utopia. Yeah, it's obviously anything but. The only question you can ask yourself is, what the hell is happening in Minnesota?
Minnesota has been having a lot of crazy stuff going on. There's a mayoral race. I can't remember which city, but the guy is I want to say second generation Somalian, and literally he's just talking about taking care of Somalia the entire time. And this guy was the Democrat, what's the word? He got chosen by the Democrats for the election. I can't remember the word, but eventually I guess they kind of took it away from him. They backstepped. But I mean, this guy is 100% communist, exactly the same as the guy in New York. And like, I'll make a video, but you know what happens when you get communism? Well, go look at some older pictures of the Soviet Union, and you'll see the desolation and the starvation and the oppressing nature of that. You know, to be honest with you, Stalin actually did way worse things than Hitler. He killed his own people, but if you put it in numbers, he killed way more people and oppressed way more people, and with an iron fist, as they said, right?
A whole lot of sense in like 2 seconds here. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I laid down the context there, or at least my thesis point. Now here's an absolutely insane story that I think you'll instantly be able to make the connection.
Wilson Tindy, a Kenyan national, was convicted of sexually assaulting a sleeping woman in the Twin Cities after breaking into her home. Tindy pled guilty to the crime 9 years ago. A judge ordered his removal from the United States.
So he broke in some woman's home, raped her, and then...
But a federal judge ultimately ruled that Tindy's removal was not warranted. Tindy
that he can stay after that.
18 months in ICE custody, and then landed taxpayer-funded positions at 2 separate Minnesota state agencies.
Like, what? What the hell? So, a pedophile, right, gets then hired by the government. Like, what in the hell is going on in Minnesota?
After our reports, Tindy's status has changed.
We really have to go through, work with our legal team.
After 9 years of this guy doing him, it took this long to get him out. Do you see the problem?
Sure that the
do you see how long it takes to legally get people out?
Would qualify for, removability from the U.S. So it did take us kind of a long time and a lot of research with help from our legal team, who are amazing. We did come up with a immigration charge because of his criminality. We do have, a warrant of arrest for him today. So, just praying all goes well and everyone remains safe during the arrest.
So this isn't a random pickup on the street today like the media likes to portray?
Right. Yep. It is not. Lots of hours went into this case.
ICE officers park blocks away to wait for the right moment to move in.
He was heading towards his apartment.
Within minutes, they're on the move.
They got lights and sirens on right now.
Walking up to the townhouse, Tindy is already in handcuffs in his garage next to his BMW.
So an illegal migrant.
So are the Democrats gonna go to Kenya and try and bring this guy back? Is that their next thing? Because they really support terrorists and criminals. And
Kenyan national sex offender.
yeah, maybe.
Yes, you heard that right. A convicted sex offender living in the United States on an expired visa, someone who probably should have been deported years ago, somehow instead ends up being hired as a director at the Minnesota Department of Education.
How does this happen?
What the frickin' hell is going on? I mean, at this point, this is beyond incompetence. This is criminal negligence. A man who should have been on a plane back to Nairobi is instead elevated into a position of influence in the Democrat public education system in Minnesota. It's something that is
Would you want this guy making decisions for your children?
unfathomable, unbelievable. But in today's day and age, in woke world 2025, it's not even that surprising. And far left Minnesota, Minneapolis, wherever the hell it happened, where Democrats run the show with their woke ideology and absolutely insane, delusional, naive agenda, it's not surprising at all. No, it feels more like the expected outcome of all the craziness we've had to endure over this woke revolution, cultural Marxist nonsense era. This is what happens when you strip away oversight and standards and replace it with cushy DEI hiring practices. No, it's
What we've been doing for a very long time here in America. For some reason, we're going away from that and trying to go to communism. Why? Okay, I kind of understand the situation. But to be honest with you, Democrat policies have made us poor. They kill industries, they tax it to death, they try to control it. Like, look what's happening in New York. The dude wants to control apartments and get rid of evictions. And when you do that, like, that still falls upon the landlord. So eventually, somebody, like 5 people have free rooms, they don't have to pay rent, the landlord's gonna go out of business. And like, he has probably a payment on it as well. So capitalism is the only way. And people are like, well, it hasn't been working. It's because we haven't been doing capitalism for the last couple of years. We've had way more social programs than we need, way too generous programs than we need. And I get it, sometimes you need help, sometimes, that stuff's supposed to be there, but it's supposed to be there to help you get on your feet and not as like general like a general payment to you that you just get for no reason. Why should somebody that is working have to pay for you to survive? Like, when you're obviously able to go out and get a job. That's the point. There's some people that obviously need it, of course, but there's healthy people that are on this stuff their entire lives, and I really feel like they could do better, honestly, in life, but they just don't try.
Qualifications. It's not about keeping the kids safe. It's not about teaching people well and having good academic outcomes. No, it's about checking boxes, identity boxes, signaling virtue. And now, this is the result. You get sex offenders with no legal right to even be in the country, sitting in cushy taxpayer-funded offices, making important decisions about education in a major American state. It's insane. And obviously, it's not happening in a vacuum. Minnesota, as of late, has been drowning in corruption scandals. We've been covering cases of election.
Yeah, Minnesota, I don't know what is up with that state, but just corruption and just tons of stuff. I've heard so much bad stuff out of that state.
Fraud, bureaucratic corruption, and it all stems from this naive leftist worldview. This is the logic.
I love Minnesota people, but their government is toast.
Extension of Democrat leadership, a system where standards don't exist. As long as you can wrap yourself around in that cushy banner, that warm blankie of representation, equity, and compassion, well, you could get away with anything. And again, I really want to focus on the larger picture here because it's bigger than the individual case. It's bigger than Minnesota. This is the Democrats' national agenda.
When my streaming bill hit $180 a month for channels I don't even watch, I didn't get mad. I got friendly.
Donald Trump has made it crystal clear. He is focused on deporting the worst violent criminals. And yet, what have we seen Democrats do? They've fought him tooth and nail at every step. We've seen the videos of Karens harassing ICE officers on the streets.
Don't these people have jobs too? Like, I don't get it, that how they have so much time. Like, I get that they're passionate about it, you know, but, yeah, dude, how are they, like, following the ICE around? Like, I don't get that. Or in Portland, they've been protesting for months, and they never leave. They do it in the middle of the night. There was a lawsuit by a lady because of the sound, and the city pretty much told her to shut up, and the cops won't do anything. And, like, how are those people being funded?
Screaming at them, "How dare you!
How dare you!"
Yelling at these federal officers for doing their jobs, and in case after case of these viral instances, they're standing there on the street corner defending illegal migrants with horrendous rap sheets. You got your liberal Karen on the street, outraged at the idea that a murderer, an abuser, a repeat offender would be removed from the country, or even just an illegal migrant, because they're not thinking past their nose. They're thinking of all these cushy concepts, representation and borders being racist, demographic changes so we can move away from this racist, white supremacist world. And all the while, their naivete is enabling the worst actors to take advantage of the system that they are creating. It's Democrats' stupid.
That's a big problem. This whole system in sanctuary cities is just filled with corruption.
That's led to all of this. It's the naivete of the left. They actually believe now that every illegal is just some innocent victim. Every migrant's a future doctor. Every hire, as long as it's not a white cis male, oh well, that's proof of progress. As long as we're getting rid of white people in positions of power, the white cis males, well, society will instantly be better. When in reality, these policies are getting rid of key gatekeepers.
You know what this really sounds like to me is just all against white people. And, you know, they can probably call me a racist, a white supremacist, whatever. I don't care because I'm not. This is, like, look at the statistics. Like, crime is out of control. Something's got to happen.
Measures, proper vetting, and now they're putting predators in positions of power. And it just goes to show, you know, the unintended consequences, how, you know, in some cases, you can have good intentions, but your good intentions leads to ruin and pain. And that's not to say that Democrats have good intentions in what they do, because for the most part, everything's a power grab. Everything's some sort of twisted manipulation, always with these sociopathic, divisive, and manipulative narratives so they can grab power. But, you know, the people who support it, the people who vote for it, they think they're doing something good, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions, as they say, right? Well, that's exactly what this is. This is what happens when symbolism, virtue signaling, cushy slogans replace standards. This This is what happens when Democrats prioritize DEI ideology over basic frickin' common sense and, most importantly, meritocracy. I mean, it's bad enough when incompetent hires run government office, but it's another level of insanity when you're literally elevating illegal migrant sex offenders to a leadership role in the Department of Education. That is not progress. That's not progressive. That, to me, is a signal of societal collapse. And if it can happen in Minnesota, it can happen anywhere. Anywhere the Democrats gain power, anywhere where they can implement their blueprint to protect criminals, to undermine immigration enforcement, to disguise corruption as equity, it's not sustainable, it's not sane, and frankly, I think we're slowly learning it sure as hell isn't safe. This is Clown World 2025. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching.
I don't even know what to say about that. You know, like, there's always the people that want a virtue signal, but sometimes the right decisions are hard, and doing the right thing is hard. And obviously, we need more of that because people just say yes to everything, it seems like. Yes, yes, yes. But anyways, I don't know, just disgusted me how ridiculous that they would put a pedophile in the Department of Education. Like, did they not do a background check? And they had to have done a background check, and they just didn't care. So, I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about this in the comment section. So, like and subscribe, please, and I will see you on the next one.